Dear students of class 10A and 10B, welcome to my history and civics class. Initially, I would like to congratulate you because of your performance, what you have done during the last exam held through online. At the same time, I wish you Happy New Year. Today's lesson, the teaching of all the lessons as per the further syllabus of council have been completed. Now, during my revision class, the lessons which are very important to you, I have decided to discuss all the points. But at the same time, I shall request all the students to attend online classes and live classes in the interest of themselves, especially those who would like to score good marks in my subject. It's my request to them to attend these classes regularly. Today's lesson, the growth of nationalism. First point, socio-religious reform movement. Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Jyotiba Phule, role of the press, East India Association and Indian Association. Now, what is socio-religious movement and why was it started? The socio-religious movement was started in order to bring about a revolution in Indian society, because Indian society was largely backward. Most of the people had no education but had huge wealth, huge money. But it is due to that reason Indian society was largely backward. Poverty was destroying the backbone of the nation. Some social and political leaders, some social reformers felt that Indians should be given proper training. They must be taught knowledge, education properly. Otherwise, the British would take its advantages. It was Raja Ram Mohan Rai who received Western education. On being educated through modernized process, on being a part of Western education, he favored Western education for the all-round development of the country. He wanted to remove all kinds of social inequalities, social, prejudices from the grassroots level of the society. That's why initially the orthodox Indian people and social and political leaders did not welcome him. On the contrary, they decided to criticize his policies, his programs. So many people did not take part in the program of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, but still he did not leave his hope. And ultimately, he kept on doing his work in the interest of Indian oppressed people. It was Lord William Bentinck, the Governor General of India, on hearing the miserable practice of sati, he declared sati system illegal. So, a number of political reformers reformed Indian society and introduced Western education, established a number of schools for the all-round development of the country. Raja Ram Mohan Roy led the Reformation movement in India. He was the most important and influential Indian reformer who favored Western education and education for the women. He regarded education as a means of national progress. That's why he set up Brahmo Samaj. He realized that education should be provided not only for men but women also. He established a number of educational groups where only educated people controlled it. Now, why did he do it? He did it with a view to organize meetings, meetings and conferences in order to make public opinion, in order to show the drawbacks of Indian people, in order to encourage them to receive Western education, to make them free from the bondage of British control and to make the country free. And it is due to that reason so many people of India, on being inspired by the ideals of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, receive Western education. Jyotiba Phule also followed it. He also established a number of schools with the help of his wife. Jyotiba Phule brought a remarkable change in the entire system of education in Maharashtra. The ruler, the conservative people who criticized the policy of Jyotiba Phule, they were unable to do so only because of his remarkable progress, only because of his remarkable progress under the technique and method he adopted. Another important thing is that two associations which were established by Indian early nationalists, one was East India Association. East India Association, who established it? East India Association was established in London in the year 1866 by whom? By Dadabhai Naoroji. Dadabhai Naoroji established Indian Association with a view to bring it to the notice of the members of British Parliament, the miserable conditions of the Indians. That means Dadabhai Naoroji wanted to bring it, the miserable conditions of the Indians, to the notice of British parliamentarians. The members of British Parliament had no idea about the Indian people. They knew that India was a country having prosperous people, having prosperity. Almost all people led a very steady and happy life, which was full of prosperity and happiness. But what exactly was happening to them, they did not have any knowledge. That the British government draining Indian wealth through their own country, England, that they were getting rich and prosperous at the cost of Indian wealth and money, and Indian people were becoming poorer only because of the oppressive policies of the British government. The members of British Parliament did not have any knowledge of it. So in order to bring it to their notice, Dadabhai Naoroji established Indian Association in England, in London. This Indian Association, East India Association, he established East India Association in London in order to make the British members of British Parliament understand the miserable conditions of the Indian people. And now what was his main aim? His main aim was to find out some solutions for the all-round development of our country, India, and in order to make the people who were living under poverty line free of their poverty. That's why he wanted to make sure, make sure good policies from the part of the British, so that they must frame good policies for the all-round development of country's people and country. Next one, Indian Association. Indian Association was established by Surendranath Banerjee. Who was Surendranath Banerjee? He was also a most important social and political reformer. Basically, he was a professor of English at Metropolitan College in Calcutta. But at the same time, he sacrificed his life for the noble cause of country's freedom and country's development and growth. This very personality, Surendranath Banerjee, established Indian Association. Now, why did he establish it? He actually established this association to give it a shape of all Indian character. But he failed. This association failed to give it an all Indian character. Why? Because many people having no education had no interest to hear the voice of Surendranath Banerjee. And as a result, so many remote villages where the illiterate, where the uneducated people were living, they did not come out of their conservativeness. This kind of orthodox people did not show any interest to receive education, and as a result, they did not take part in the programs and conferences under Surendranath Banerjee's association. Why? Because they were leading a very rich and prosperous life. They all leading a very steady life. They had no problem. That's why they did not want to get themselves involved in it and did not become a part of this association. But afterwards, Surendranath Banerjee realized that he must not leave hope, and one organization should be re-established. That's why Surendranath Banerjee established Indian National Conference. He established Indian National Conference with a view to criticize the British wrong policies, the British oppressive policies. And ultimately this time he achieved success. How? He travelled all over India for country's development, for making public opinion. He started organizing seminars, conducting meetings in various cities of India like Lucknow, like Meerut, Delhi, Bombay, Madras, and so many important cities of India where he organized, where he conducted meetings and seminars in order to make public opinion, Indian public opinion. But ultimately his aim and objective, whatever was there, fulfilled. He was able to give it a shape of all Indian character. And as a result of it, after 2 years later, another all Indian political organization which was set up by A.O. Hume, Indian National Congress, this organization of Surendranath Banerjee was merged with it in the year 1886. So the organization, political organization of Surendranath Banerjee, the Indian National Conference was merged with Indian National Congress in the year 1886. And ultimately Surendranath Banerjee and A.O. Hume, both of them were able to give it an all-Indian platform. And ultimately this organization started criticizing British policies and forced the Britishers to adapt, to frame good policies for the all-round development of India and its people. Up to this, my dear students, thank you.